Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to look at building a dedicated pedal board around the IK Multimedia ToneX 1. I did have it on my board with my HX Stomp, and it was in the effects loop, and that's how I've been using it for the past year, or since I got it, or since they came out. But I thought it would be interesting because because the ToneX 1 is not a very expensive pedal, but it's a great pedal platform because you can find really good clean amps in it. And so that's how I'm going to use it. And so we're going to find some actually inexpensive pedals in this video. We're going to stack some drive pedals around it, some as a boost and then some some acting as a boost, and then one pedal as my main drive sound. And I'll probably hopefully use this pedal board for my classic rock tribute band I'm in, and maybe other stuff. But let's check it out. I've got a bunch of pedals. Let's go through some of these, and we'll pick out some pedals and put them on the board. All right, so this is kind of my pedal shelf, and I've already kind of gone through some drive pedals, and I'll show you which ones didn't make it and which ones did make it. I did look at the BB preamp as a main drive sound for this pedal board build, but it just wasn't Marshall-y enough to be its main. This is more of, I think, something that you push into something else, and I could have left it on the board. I still could put it on and have it be something that boosts the front end of another pedal or stacks against another pedal. I did look at the Rat. It wasn't quite what I was looking for, but that Rat's not that inexpensive though either. But I was mostly looking at some of these other pedals. I'll show you the ones I tried out that did not make the cut. This over here were three of them that I tried as a main drive sound on the board. So the US Dream by Joyo, the TC Electronics Mojo, and this Joyo American, which actually did very well, but I just wanted something a little more Marshall-esque. And so let me show you guys what I ended up doing. Show you the board real quick, and then we'll play some tones for you. All right, guys, so here's what I ended up doing. Compressor. This is not decided yet. This is just a cheap compressor because I wanted to kind of keep this board like inexpensive. So this is like some kind of Joyo, I think, compressor pedal. Then into a Azor overdrive, which is going into, this is going to be my main drive sound, is this Joyo Uzi pedal. I got this a few months ago, have not been able to review it. And so I put it on the board with this pedal board build, and it sounds absolutely great going into, at least to my ears so far, sounds absolutely great going into the ToneX, which is here. This Azor I'm using as a boost, but also extra gain. So this was more like a rhythm sound. This makes it into a lead sound, and this makes it into more of like a transparent. So I'll boost the Uzi with this other Azor, this pure boost. And it's more of just like more of a transparent boost, and it doesn't add very much gain. Going into a NuX chorus pedal, and then all that stuff goes into the ToneX. And this is just set clean, has a noise gate and a reverb on it. And the Infinite TC Electronics is just for fun, if I'm doing like more like looping gigs. Haven't really used it much, but it was already on this pedal board, so I left it on here. And then this was sitting, these two pedals were just sitting on a board I wasn't using, and so I've just taken and redone this whole board. Everything going into the Plethora X3, and I have a delay, a reverb, and a looper on here. I will probably change those and maybe make some more presets. But basically, main overdrive sound, Joyo Uzi, going into ToneX. These other pedals are stacked just as boosts. More of like a drive boost into that to add more gain. And this is like a drive boost, and this is a clean boost. ToneX 1, not really going to be using that. Maybe I'll use it at the end as a to loop some stuff, and then into this, out of a DI box by Pile. Not a great DI box, but it works. And into just straight into my interface. So let's check it out. We'll check out some tones. Let me know what you guys think. This is my ToneX 1 new pedalboard build, all based around this main drive sound from the Joyo Uzi. All right, guys, so this is the just the ToneX and a slight compressor. All right, so here's the Joyo Uzi, which is going to be my main kind of crunch rhythm sound. And I don't have the gain very high, and it still has quite a bit of gain. All right, so this is, actually let's set this up so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Even though you won't be able to see me playing, you'll be able to hear what I'm doing. But we'll set this up so you guys can see the board. All right, so. All right, so this is the Azor going into the Uzi. So this is the delay from the TC Electronics. It's like a dual delay, but I think kind of ping pong. All right, so then the Azor Blue Azor here is kind of a gain boost. So it's going to add gain, but it's also going to add a boost. So. It also pushes the mids a little bit, which I think will stick out more in a mix. And of course, the more you stack pedals, the more noise you're going to get. But usually in a mix, you're not going to hear it that much. All right, so then the next pedal we have is more of like a clean boost. It changes the tone a little bit, but it's more, just adds more volume to the Uzi. So if we turn on this Azor, it's called the Pure Boost. I'm guessing it's supposed to be kind of like a RC booster by Exotic Effects. So here we go, turn it on. So more just brings the volume up. It may add a little gain, a little bit of tone difference, but it's a little cleaner than the blue one. And then also, if I want, I can turn this reverb on that's in the Plethora X, so you have more of like a lusher sound. whole boost pedal thing, guys, is when you're playing in a band and you want to do a solo, you really have to get above the rest of the band if you want the audience to hear what you're playing. And so that's kind of what my goal is with these two pedals. And actually that could be a little louder. The ToneX also, I have set up another amp sound that I could stack with this as well. It's a drive, like a kind of a Marshall-y amplifier. So if I wanted to turn that one on too, I could. So it actually boosted as well. So, and it's probably the most extreme of all three boost pedals. And because the band I'm playing in with this board, and just because I like chorus, I threw this chorus pedal on. It'll save me a spot on the, this does have chorus as well, the Plethora X, but this will save me a spot from having to use it on the Plethora X3. So this is my chorus sound. That's usually kind of the sound I go for with choruses, is that whole 80s thing. So the Uzi, I'll kind of give you guys the settings on these. I have the low kind of dialed back to 10 o'clock, the mid at about 2 o'clock. I have the high at about 1 o'clock, and then I have the bias at about 2 o'clock. My gain is only really at about 7 or 8 o'clock, and then my volume is about 3 o'clock. But if you want to add more boost to your main gain sound, what you'll want to do is just dial your main gain pedal back so that it's even quieter, and then have your sound guy bring it up in relative volume to the rest of the band. When you turn on these boost pedals, it's even louder. Alright guys, so for the end of this video, I thought I would just kind of loop something and kind of show you how I would use this as kind of like maybe a solo type setup. Alright, so I'll be using the looper on the Plethora X3, and I'm also going to kind of add some of that infinity pedal sound into this, just as maybe another little level. So